Hey guys, my name is Tina Mickel. I'm one of the members of the modeling team over at RWBY Abridged, also known as KRWBY Productions. I'm also one of the voice actors and one of the art leads, head of the VRShorts. So I do a bunch of different things over on that project. But lately, a lot of people have been asking me on there and in other places how to 3D model, and that's such a broad statement. So I'm going to be working in Blender version 2.79. For those of you who aren't familiar with Blender, this will be a great starting point for you. I didn't know anything a few years ago, so hopefully you can learn something from these videos. So let's go ahead, we open Blender for the first time, and you see this. First of all, if you're not sure what version you're in, it's going to be right here for you. So I got version 2.79, got some of the other model information here, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about navigating the viewport, which is this gray area where your workspace is, and knowing how to just move around basically for there. So let's start with the simplistics of 3D modeling. So if you notice, I got this little gray square over here. It is going to show you these different movements that I do. So if you're curious, that's what it'll be. So if I miss something or I don't say it, do pay attention to that. It's going to be very helpful. So just for basic movements, that's all we're going to cover in this tutorial. You can hold the middle mouse button and you can move around your object here like this. It's really nice and convenient. So super helpful. You're like, cool, well, how do I move left to right if I'm looking at something? Like I don't want to spin in this around this point forever. I need to look at this camera. How can I get closer to it? So if you hold the shift button and then your middle mouse button, you can then drag and move around on a vertical, well, not vertical, horizontal, but across the plane this way. So it essentially locks moving forward or backward, and you can only go across, left to right on that view from whichever way you're looking. So if I move, I can do that. Now if you're like, man, okay, I'm up here, I'm looking at this camera, we're gonna right click it just to kind of, we got that as what we're focusing on, but I'm so far out, how do I zoom in? Hold that control button, that middle mouse button, and if you pull back on your mouse, you're gonna go farther away. If you press forward, you're gonna go in. Alternatively, you can just scroll on your mouse wheel, but if that's a little too solid, if you hear like mine's clicky, I can adjust mine to have a smooth flow. But if I really wanted to, I can just hold that control button, pressing that shift button now and scooting around. So you can easily navigate. So if you're not sure what to do, this is a very quick, easy way to learn how to navigate your viewport when working in Blender. And if you realize this little cursor here, this is this little guy right here, you can kind of put him in all sorts of places. He's a great reference. But if you do Shift S, I'm going to show you that too, cursor to center, or if I want to move the cursor to here, I can do cursor to selected. It's going to go to the base point of that object. So those are just two little things to help you out. So navigating the viewport and moving this cursor to selected. Hopefully you learned a little bit more than what you knew about Blender when you started, and stay tuned for the next little Blender session. Look at all these scrollies. I feel like I'm a problem. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.